Hey scholars, welcome to 8.02 Composition of Area. Your objective today is that students will be able to apply two-dimensional formulas to find the area of a composite shape. Now I just want to explain, which I know you're probably aware of, but area means the amount of space in a two-dimensional object, and the word composite means that we're going to be looking at a shape that is made up of different types of 2D shapes. The first thing you're going to copy today in your notebooks are these basic formula. So the area of a circle is pi r squared. The area of a triangle is half base times height. The area of a rectangle is length times width. So please go ahead and pause the video if you need to copy these. Now, one thing that's not here that I would like you to make note of is a semicircle. Right? So a semicircle is half of a circle. So the area for a semicircle would be pi r squared, and then I'm going to take half of it, just to make sure that if you see half of a circle, we'll find the area of the whole thing, and then we're going to take half of it. Two other formulas that we need to talk about is a square, which most of you know as side times side, because a square, all sides are congruent. And then one that it is a little bit new to you is trapezoid. And with the trapezoid, the formula is half the sum of the parallel sides, which are AB in our picture, and we multiply it by the height. So like I said, well, you have to copy these in your notebook. So go ahead, pause the video, copy these down, and then we're going to look at two examples together. Now, I want you to take a minute and think. Looking at this picture, how do you think we'll find the area of the shape? What formulas will we use? Now, in order to determine the formula that we're going to use, we need to figure out what shapes am I looking at? What shapes can you see? So when I'm looking at this, I'm going to look at, okay, let's get some color here. I see half of a circle here in blue, right? I see another half of a circle on this side. And then I also see we got here in the squiggly part of it, we got a rectangle, right? So if I want to find the area of this entire thing, it's 2/2 of a circle, which would make a circle. So we're going to use the area of a circle, which is pi r squared, and then we're going to do area of a rectangle, which is length times width. Now let's do this one first, the middle piece, because that's simple. Area of that inside squiggly line piece is 25 times 15. So what you're going to do is, you all have your phone. I told you to download the Calculator X that looks like the TI-84, or any calculator. Just go 25 times 15, and the area for this piece in the middle is 375. Now let's come over here. The area for the circle, again, this is half of a circle, and this is half of a circle. When I put them together, I'll get a whole circle. So the area of this guy, pi times the radius. So now I want you to take a look. This entire thing here is your diameter. So if the diameter is equal to 15, the radius is half of that. So 15 divided by 2, which of course is 7.5. So when you go here, we're going to do 7.5, where's my decimal, square. Now, I will normally tell you how to round these to the nearest tenth in terms of pi, hundreds, and all of that. For this one, let's do it in terms of pi, because that's kind of new to us. In terms of pi, just means that we are not entering this guy that I underlined in the calculator. So I would just go ahead and say 7.5 square, which is 56.25, and then bring the pi right next to it. We're not entering the pi in the calculator. Now, the final answer, because I want the area of the entire shape, remember, it's made up of this half of this circle, half of this circle, and a rectangle. What do you think I'm going to do with the two answers that I got? This is one answer, and this is the other answer. What do you think I'm going to do with this? I want you to think. So I hope you had a minute to just think about this. So we're going to end up now, and we're going to add these two guys together. And when we add this together, our final answer would be, because I said to leave it in terms of pi, it's going to be 56.25 pi plus 375. We're just going to leave it in terms of that. We can say take this, plug it in your calculator, get it to the nearest. Oh, don't forget, guys, this is actually yards. Gotta write the units that we're working with. We can say round this to the nearest tenth. If you plug that in your calculator, it will work out to be 551.7 yards. So all of those rounding becomes super important. Now, in this, the first thing you're thinking again is, what kind of shape do you see? So I see a half a circle here. I see a square here. And then I see a triangle. Right? So being able to look at what you see, and if it's half of a circle, for this guy, I'll use pi r squared divided by 2. For the square, I'll do s squared. And then for the triangle, I'll do half base times height. So let's go ahead and do this. So after we have those in, we're now going to go ahead and substitute. And let's do this in the nearest tenth. So we're going to do pi. If the diameter is 4, that means the radius is 4 divided by 2, which is 2. So this becomes 2 squared. Don't forget it's half of a circle, so we divide by 2, plus 4 squared plus half 4 times 4, and let's see what this works out. 4 squared is 16. 4 times 4 is 16 divided by 2 is 8. 2 times 2 is 4, and then half of that is 2, so this is actually 2 pi, right? So now that we want this in decimal form, we can now go ahead and plug this in the calculator. So 2 pi, remember, enter the pi sign, don't enter 3.14, which we know pi is 3.14. So this is actually 6.28 plus 16 plus 8. So if you enter all of this in the calculator, it works out to be 30.28, and we're rounding this to the 1 decimal, so it's 30.3. Don't forget, we're working in centimeters, and it's the area, so it's centimeters square. And that's our final answer, 30.3 centimeters square. Now, your task is to complete the worksheet that's attached, and then we are going to upload that back to myself. Have a great day, guys.